Focus up. I have a question for you. What is something that Black Swan, Clara, Himiko, Kafka, Jingyuan, Herda, the Cooler Herda, Argenti, Yunli, Sampo Koski, Hook, Jade, Daniel Hang Imbibitor Lune, Luca, Saber, Sele, Sunday, Destruction Trailblazer, Aglaya, Misha, Welt, and my glorious King Anaxa all have in common? I'll give you a second to subscribe to Tom Hill now, of course. Okay, time's up. All of them share a character in their optimal team. I know. Which brand new powerhouse release unit could possibly be best in slot for that many teams? They must have powercrept the game itself to an absolutely unheard of degree for such a thing to even be possible, right? Well, the mystery is about to be revealed. Grab your jades and start converting them to tickets. I'm about to show you the unit of the future.
I will walk with you, watch over you, and guide you on your path.
Yeah. The year's 2023. It's November. The Topaz and Numby banner just finished, as well as the first rerun banner ever. Wonder if they'll ever do one of those again. Patch 1.5 is about to drop, and this silly looking Luocha side grade is who's on the banner. Sure, she has decent healing and cleanse, but no enemies getting through Japard's shield anyways, so I didn't think much of it. Plus, she's so niche and skill point unfriendly, good luck trying to fit her into a Qingchui DPS team. Besides, I've heard the rumors about the upcoming game-changing powerhouse unit that's supposed to drop next patch. I think their name is... what is it again? Oh right, Argenti. So I skipped her. It's been nearly 2 years, and I regret that decision every single day, because since then, I've missed out on using half the damn roster at their full potential. If only I had known about a way to get jades for incredibly cheap. Like our sponsor, LDShop. Gacha games are an expensive hobby, but with LDShop, they don't have to be. LDShop is a safe and reliable game top-up site created by LD Player Emulator, which offers unbeatable prices for Reneric shards and other in-game purchases in Honkai Star Rail, as well as Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, and other games. If you use the affiliate link below, you'll receive a 15 and 5% off coupon, which can save you up to $50 in Honkai Star Rail purchases. All you need is your server and game ID to top up, and if you spend over 80 USD in 1 month at LDShop, you'll get a free supply pass. Thank you to LDShop for sponsoring this video, and be sure to check them out using the link in the pinned comment and description. Last week, Saber from the Fate series was released, and the most core member of her team is that healer from patch 1.5. It doesn't make sense. How has it been this long since her release, and she is still a cornerstone unit in the most competitive contemporary teams in the meta? Think I'm over-exaggerating? Hemming it up to put out a punchy title for a video? Alright, this is Fushuan, a sustain released in 1.3. She's incredible. Not only does she have unbelievable sustain, but she also gives a whopping 15% crit rate for free. This is her placement upon release. Top tier, untouchable. A few months later, dropped a tad bit, but still solid. A few more, viable, but overshadowed. Now, irrelevant. Alright, but that's a 1.3 character. Obviously they won't still be a top pick. How about, I don't know, Acheron. Practically the face of the Honkai franchise, power creeping every other DPS by a country mile, released in 2.1. On release, obviously the best character in the game, even to the point that she boosted other mid units into the upper echelons of the meta. A few months later, still quite strong, even getting new units that were specifically designed to only be even remotely useful on her team. Now, an actual meme. With deep sorrow in my heart, I must bring up my beloved Firefly. The most hyped release to date, bringing in an entirely new mechanic, having every single stage of every game mode of endgame contents becoming catered entirely to her. And she deserves it, just look at her. Not to mention, her numbers made even Acheron blush. The apex character when she came out. Still holding strong months later with new best in slots and mechanics to increase her flexibility and longevity. Now, and how it so pains me to admit it, washed. And that's just how it is with characters in a live service game, especially one like Honkai Star Rail, where every new character needs to be clearly better than the next, otherwise they won't be able to build another nuclear reactor. D-Hill put up unprecedented damage numbers, so Jinglu, the next DPS, had to do even more damage and without needing 30 skill points a cycle to do so. Luocha made your team practically unkillable, so Fuxuan had to do the same, but giving utility. And Aventurion had to do all of that while also contributing notable damage himself. And yet as it stands, out of the 16 limited 5 stars released in Honkai Star Rail version 2.0 and earlier, Huohuo is the only one that remains a tier 0 character, and one of only 3 released prior to 3.0. We've seen countless characters be introduced, reach their peak, and fall off a cliff, all while Huohuo sat comfortably on her throne at the peak of the meta. She survived every new sustain introduced after her that were supposed to replace her: a hyper carry meta, a follow-up meta, a break meta, an HP scaling meta, new mechanics, new planets, a new path, a new healer outdamaging entire teams, a new Huohuo game, a voice actor strike, Tectone being outed as a sex pest, Luka Doncic being traded to the Lakers, and Elon Musk getting assassinated. Oh wait, that last one hasn't happened yet. So do you really need me to make the comparison? No, who am I kidding? I'm taking every opportunity to glaze the absolute GOAT that I can get. Yes, Huohuo is literally the LeBron James of Honkai Star Rail. Just like my glorious king, Huohuo has outlasted all of their contemporaries, and even this late into their career, still dominates the game as though they just reached their peak, which has lasted for an absolutely ridiculous amount of time. They elevate any and all of their teammates to the upper echelons of the competition, who perform like actual bums the moment they leave the team. And of course, like that one tweet saying LeBron is 30, this f***ery won't go on for much longer. We're damn near patch 4.0. And no matter how many people theorize that Huohuo was finally done, our girl is still dunking on every other sustain they've released. How is this possible? With how much damage quote-unquote sustain units are dishing out these days, surely it's only a matter of time before Powercreep claims her once and for all, right? Well, in order to understand what's made Huohuo such a meta-defining sustain, we need to know what not meta is. The goalpost moves quite a bit, so it's hard to pinpoint what that means exactly. What does a subpar healer with no notable upsides even look like? What does it look like from a gameplay lens? A decent sustain needs to be able to contribute at least a few of the following things very well: keeping the team alive, cleansing or preventing debuffs, generating skill points, and providing some form of utility. Bailu has arguably some of the highest capacity for raw healing, with her having on-demand heals, invigoration, and a revive, but her lack of cleanse effectively makes her unviable, while also having nothing to say in terms of utility. Fuxuan has decent utility with passable skill point generation, but try to run her on MOC 12 and watch as the enemies absolutely barbecue chicken the entire team. Gatliker, a 4-star character, has been able to compete with the rest of the 5-star sustains by typically having just enough healing, cleansing debuffs, and while their utility might seem as though it's limited to lowering the enemy's attack by a little bit, they make up for it by having unrivaled skill point generation and some energy regen with quid pro quo manipulation. With Huohuo, you have the most consistent form of cleanse out of all the sustains, but her heals are by no means best in class anymore, and she has the worst skill point generation among sustains by far. So what gives? Well, the simple answer is her ultimate. Upon activating her ultimate, she gives the team one of 2 things. The first is a 40% attack boost. Now, this is actually a lot more valuable than most people realize. Nowadays, every single DPS and every single buffer provides some sort of damage percent, res pen, res reduction, true damage, or whatever. As a result, your damage is actually pretty drastically increased by the addition of a simple attack percent injection. But what set Huohuo apart on release, and continues to do so almost 2 years later, is the other part of her ult, generating 20% max energy for all team members. Okay, so what? The average energy cost for an ult is 120, which would mean a measly 24 extra energy every however many turns. Now let's tackle this on 2 fronts. Firstly, that's 24 energy for every character on the team, meaning effectively, you're getting at the very least an extra 72 energy between your 3 other characters. This allows you to typically get an extra ult for each of your characters at least once a cycle, or effectively nearly giving each of them an extra energy regen rope. With this, you're hitting breakpoints that are absolutely unattainable without Huohuo. This effect, insane as it already is compounded when you think about supports that give extra energy, like Sunday or Tingyu, or even crazier when you take some of the high energy cost characters, like Saber, whose whopping 360 cost ult Huohuo contributes 72 energy for, or Robin, whose 160 energy ult gains 36 energy, or more than the value of an entire skill. And as much of a numbers guy as I am, I'm not. Huohuo's impact sounds good in theory, but it is far better in actual combat. All of this energy means more lightning lore stacks for Jingyuan, more enhanced basics for Aglaya, more enhanced counters for Yunli and Clara, Saber maybe actually being able to Excalibur, but then again only if you have Sunday as well. More turns for Robin advance, more stacks for Finon while not sweating about your supports being at 1 HP, and of course, more attack for everyone involved. You'd really think that they'd just port this ridiculous ability over to another healer to power creep our favorite girl failure. But in a rare moment of Huohuo modesty, they have not, and they probably never will. So to answer the question of how long Huohuo will remain a top meta character, based on her current pace, new units, and meta direction, and if what we've seen so far is any indication of what's to come, I don't exaggerate one bit when I say that she will never, ever truly lose her spot as a top sustain. Long has her reign been, and even longer will it continue to be. We can call it here, folks. Huohuo has defeated Power Creep itself. Thank you for watching. More Star Rail vids coming soon.
Anyway, $4 a pound.